Welcome back, King Bullet here. Chapter 201 has everybody and Yomama re-evaluating how strong Saitama actually is, since he seems to be edging closer towards Goku levels of strength by the day, possibly being higher dimensional now. Last time in Saitama's fight against Garou, while he's using serious amounts of power, they blew a hole in the universe, destroying thousands of solar systems and presumably even some galaxies, depending on how you choose to interpret that feat. But what if I told you that that level of power is now meaningless, and has been utterly surpassed by a character who Saitama should be able to beat up? When I do hit 15k, I'll drop a special video, so look out for that too. Empty Void, who now goes by the name That Man, is the founder of a secret ninja village and used to be Blast's partner during his search for these mysterious cubes. Like Garou, after being influenced by a mysterious force called God, he became a monster with a fraction of his power. Anyway, without boring you all, let's get into this. The ninja arc begins with speed of sound Sonic chilling at his hideout when suddenly the Heavenly Ninja Party hits him up. They're basically just a group of ninja who have graduated from the same secret ninja village as him, which is now destroyed. The Heavenly Ninja Party is made up of ninja like Galewind and Hellfire Flame. They tell Sonic that the village founder, That Man, has now awakened after 15 years of being in this recovery capsule, but is still weakened. In the past, he used to be a ninja named Empty Void, who's friends with the #1 ranked S-Class hero Blast and considered his equal. As the greatest ninja of all time, his fighting style includes a mastery over presumably most ninjutsu, taijutsu and genjutsu. He can basically weaponize any object that he carries and has an absurdly wide variety of ninja tools like swords, shuriken, kunai, having a mastery over all of them. 15 years ago, with Blast and other heroes, they searched for these mysterious cubes. They figured out that the cubes allowed for communication with a mysterious being called God, which transformed people into monsters. After succumbing to a mysterious cube, Void was granted God's power and turned into a monster, going by the alias That Man. During this time as a monster, Void found the ninja village in order to produce suitable vessels for God. Void could use his mysterious cube to render people unconscious on contact, in which he'll dream about an encounter with God who offers them power to join him. Blast was left with no choice but to defeat his friend, who despite having the power advantage still somehow lost. Left with serious injuries, Void was put into a recovery capsule by his ninja minions in order to recover and get his revenge. Fast forward 15 years, the Heavenly Ninja Party revealed to Sonic their plan to kill Flashy Flash, a former ninja who left them, and Blast to make Void their leader. With Void as their leader, they can finally come out of the shadows and take over the world with their ninjutsu skills. Later, when Blast is at the Hero Association headquarters with Saitama, Flashy Flash, Void launches a surprise attack. Blast is able to sense danger and protect the headquarters from getting completely destroyed by teleporting it. It's revealed that when Saitama beat Garou a while back, his cosmic powers were released as radiation. Blast redirected the cosmic rays using his gravitational waves to send them through a portal to a different dimension. Void traveled to that dimension and can breathe in the vacuum of space, covertly absorbing the cosmic rays in order to restore his own powers. But after absorbing Garou's cosmic power, Void underwent this cosmic transformation in which he grows long hair and a mask. He's now fully recovered from his injuries that he got during Blast 15 years ago and is now way stronger than before, to the point where Blast considers him a greater threat than Cosmic Garou ever was, despite him being able to blow up solar systems and possibly galaxies. His cosmic powers allow him to, with his bare hands, grab the fabric of space around him like a blanket so he can hide himself and vanish out of sight, losing Blast. But that's only the fraction of a power that God granted Empty Void, who is now the strongest monster in the world. The ninjas Sonic and Flash, who aren't exactly on the best of terms, meet each other and team up to defeat the Heavenly Ninja Party easily, so they can settle their beef at the end. Everything is going smoothly until the blood from the bodies of a ninja come together to summon Empty Void, who has reverted from his cosmic form back into his monster form. They face him together but are simply no match for him. Empty Void impersonates Flash with genjutsu and tricks Sonic into touching his mysterious cube. The real Flash turns up, lunges to save Sonic but fails to save him since he's been rendered unconscious and now speaking to God, who is trying to make a deal with him. Flash, who is known for his speed, is being mocked by Void for being too slow, despite being faster than light speed. He then dodges a kick from Flash and reaches to touch him with his mysterious cube, when Sonic reveals that he snapped out the illusion by rejecting a deal and saves Flash by punching him in the face. Flash and Sonic then rush together to attack Empty Void, who all of a sudden reveals that he can travel to other dimensions like Blast. By using a ninjutsu called Parallel View in his monster form, Void can enter a space outside of the causality of the universe. In his place, he can allegedly fold parts of the universe into floating bubbles to pick the target that he wants to interact with. Although the bubbles only show places and moments in time, I think that they could be entire alternate universes. I say this because there's said to be an infinite amount of these bubbles that branch out with every possibility. Saitama has also consequently created a parallel world just by going back in time and changing the timeline, so we know it does make sense. It's also assumed that Blast's companions are beings from other dimensions that he can access, including these guys right here. One of them looks like the Beast King and the other one looks like Lord Boros, which leads me to believe that Blast's companions are dead villains, most likely from alternate universes, suggesting that there is a wider multiverse at play here that we don't really know too much about but will be important soon. If Void is the one folding these alternate dimensions like he's claiming to, then he could be capable of shaping and destroying entire alternate universes, which would confirm that he's certainly way more powerful than Garou, who when seriously clashing with Saitama couldn't do anything close to that. It gets even more insane when Void uses Parallel View to set up another attack that I used earlier called Dimensional Slash. The first time we saw this, Void aimed it at the Hero Association headquarters and split the surface, scarring the surrounding land. This attack would have destroyed the headquarters if Blast hadn't teleported the building away. Dimensional Slash basically works by Empty Void choosing a specific reality using Parallel View. Void picks a target, then falls a part of reality into a bubble. He then slices through the selected bubble to unleash a devastating slash across that targeted area in the chosen dimension. Dimensional Slash ignores size, energy and distance because Void is using the power bestowed upon him by God. That involves interference from a higher dimension. This means God is from a higher dimension, presumably the 4th dimension, since Blast does use the example of a tesseract to describe God. In geometry, a tesseract is a 4-dimensional shape which looks like 2 cubes within each other, which means that God from One Punch Man is a similar being to the Otsutsuki god Shibai from Boruto, which is a weird coincidence since both are higher dimensional beings, allegedly being at least 4th dimensional. I'd argue that Empty Void himself is still only physically 3-dimensional, since he exists in the normal universe. However, when using Parallel View, he can leave a causality of a universe. He called the parallel view plane a hyperspace, which in context is defined as a space that has more than 3 dimensions, so is likely at least 4th dimensional. From there he uses Dimensional Slash, using most likely a fraction of God's 4th dimensional power. In theory, any percentage of a 4th dimension is still in fact 4-dimensional, so you could argue that Void's Dimensional Slash is 4th dimensional. However, the problem is Blast says the extent of how much of a 4th dimensional power that is drawn out depends on the user. So ultimately it might just depend on how the author and the reader choose to interpret that, in all honesty, since it's possible in the One Punch Man world that using an unknown infinitesimal amount of God's power could mean that you're nowhere near his dimensional level. Dimensional Slash then slashes Sonic in half. An Empty Void, while attempting to return to the universe, tempts Flash to join him and reaches out with his mysterious cube once again. On the last second, Blast intervenes and punches Void in the face with his gravity knuckle, revealing that he hid half of Sonic's body in another dimension in order to trick Void, and that is fine. This implies that Blast may scale to Empty Void, as he can fend off a few of his assaults and even harm him, which places him amongst one of the fastest and strongest individuals in the series. By reasonable estimation, he's most likely around the same level of combat speed as Cosmic Garou and Saitama, which he did prove earlier anyway. The attacks can cover interstellar and possibly intergalactic ranges in just seconds, which could mean that they're way quicker than the speed of light, like much quicker. I'm talking like millions to billions of times quicker. Void and Blast are possibly infinite speed if you think they scale to 4th dimensional power and speed. We already know that Saitama has the power and potential to surpass Blast, so this means that Saitama may be approaching those lower levels of 4th dimensional tier powers too. Saitama will inevitably face Empty Void, and both of their powers will drastically progress during the fight like we saw in Saitama's last fight against Garou. Currently Void is only in his monster form. I expect him to use his cosmic form again when facing Saitama in the near future, but that's if he does. Whether Saitama will actually be able to beat Son Goku from Dragon Ball could be a serious debate now, unlike it was a few years ago. At the rate that Saitama is growing, he may even surpass Goku's level of power soon, but I can't say for sure as I expect the Dragon Ball Super manga to return soon too. So I might do a Goku vs Saitama versus matchup soon in the future, watch out for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do want to see me cover One Punch Man in the future again, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay updated. Check out my previous videos on how strong Saitama is if you haven't already too. And until next time, peace out.